Ever so often, we get the news of various unexplained phenomena that baffles the scientific community and defies logic. But is this just the tip of the iceberg? Along with these reported events, humankind, since time immemorial, have questioned, what is the purpose of life? Why are we here? What happens after death? Do ghosts and angels exist? Is there a world out there that we are absolutely unaware of and cannot be investigated by modern science? Suppose we were to call this world the spiritual dimension, a part of the universe that we cannot perceive with our five senses, mind, or intellect. Are we affected by this dimension without our knowledge? And if so, how often and with what intensity? The Spiritual Science Research Foundation specializes in demystifying the spiritual dimension and raising public awareness in how it affects our lives. Using biofeedback machines, real-life case studies, and an advanced sixth sense. In this series, we will be attempting to bridge the known physical and the unknown spiritual worlds. By its very nature, researching the spiritual dimension differs from how one researches the physical dimension. Tools such as a measuring tape and a weighing scale are ideal to measure the physical dimension, yet these same tools would be found sorely lacking when employed to measure one's intellect or the spiritual dimension. We have found that the spiritual dimension can only really be researched using advanced sixth sense. With biofeedback machines, we are at best only able to measure the fringes of the spiritual dimension. Now, all of us have some kind of sixth sense. A common everyday example of sixth sense is a simple gut feel. Without any rational explanation, we form an opinion about a person as soon as he or she enters the room. And at the other end of the spectrum, we have observed that some spiritually evolved people have complete access to a higher intelligence, which some people call the universal mind and intellect. This powerful access enables in them many supernatural abilities, such as being able to accurately predict the future. We have also observed that the quality of information received through sixth sense is generally dependent on spiritual ability or maturity gained through years of regular spiritual practice. Let us now turn our attention to the objective of our lives. Studies have shown that the root intention behind almost every action is either to gain happiness or to avoid pain. Most of us don't have a problem with being happy, but it is the painful events in our life that we have an issue about. Let us look a little more closely at how we try to overcome pain in our lives. The first method is the superficial method. An example of this is a fight between a husband and wife. In the middle of a heated argument, the husband storms out of the house and goes to the bar to drown his sorrows. The wife goes shopping and buys a very expensive pair of shoes. Tempers simmer down as their minds get distracted, but the problem has not been solved. All of us can identify with employing this method at some point in time in our lives. Brushing problems under the carpet and hoping that they don't come back to bite us. The second method is one that is commonly employed with the help of modern sciences. Here we identify the problem, then identify the cause, and then apply a solution. So if we were to go to our earlier example, the problem was depression. The cause was marital disharmony. And one of the solutions could be to get help from a marriage counselor. But in some cases, whatever we try, the problems just don't go away. And modern science falls short in providing solutions. In such cases, when some people resort to prayer to God or to a higher power, they experience a miraculous turnaround of events. It is also well researched that people who have strong religious beliefs respond better to palliative care. Religion also seems to act as a preventive measure against potential problems. There was a study conducted by the National Center on Addictions and Substance Abuse at the Columbia University, and it was found that adults who never attended religious services are almost 8 times likelier to use the drug marijuana than those who attend religious services on a weekly basis. So what is the relationship between our spiritual efforts and overcoming pain caused due to problems in life? Having studied thousands of cases and remedies that worked for them for over 2 decades, we have categorized problems as per their root cause. And we have found that for any given problem that a person faces in life, the problem at its root can be in one of 3 dimensions, and they are physical, psychological, and or spiritual. The root cause of a problem is not mutually exclusive. Let's look at an example to make this clearer. Let us say a person is suffering from a migraine. It could have a physical reason, such as a hangover after a late night at a party. It could have a psychological root cause, such as the person is under some extreme stress. But it could also have a spiritual cause. An important indication of a problem having its root cause in the spiritual is if it just doesn't go away, despite it being easily treatable by modern sciences. Problems that have their root cause in the spiritual can manifest in many ways, such as problems related with finance, health, marital problems, accidents, and mental illnesses. Stay tuned for the next episode as we will be sharing with you the various types of spiritual problems, along with real-life case studies. These are case studies where the root cause was found to be spiritual in nature and include commonplace problems of people who have had eczema, recurrent nightmares, dreams of ancestors, sleep paralysis, and even a strange case of continuous belching.